DodoWrestlingFan here today for thoughts and opinions on Sonic Mania. Now, I've been following Sonic Mania since the game was announced at, I think it was some kind of Summer of Sonic event that happened, last year. That would have been the summer of 2016. I remember I saw it trending on my Twitter just before I was going to go to bed that night. So I thought, let's take a look at it, because the trailer dropped, and I just thought, well, geez, that game looks freaking great. Classic Sonic fans are gonna have a great game to play. Me, I was more focused on Forces. That's the game that I was always more hyped for, because I'm more of a modern Sonic fan than I am a classic Sonic fan. But there's no denying that the game looked interesting, and I was definitely gonna get it, because I'm a Sonic fanboy. True and tried and true. That series and me go back so far, and we go ahead so far, I'll never be able to not play every Sonic game. There's just something about that series, the cast, the music, there's just something about it that just screams Dodo about it. So it's just, regardless of my personal hype or taste for it, I just thought, it's gonna be a filler game. That's all I thought. That's literally all I thought. I was like, this is going to be nothing but a filler game to tide me over until Forces came out. And as the months progressed, my opinions never faltered. They never changed at all. It just looked like a decent 2D Sonic game. Yay. It could have just been on Sonic 4 Episode 3, to be honest, and I really wouldn't have given a crap because I still would have bought it and I still would have had some fun with it. So, August 15th rolls around, and I was like, it was looking pretty interesting. I was actually pretty hyped that day. So, my mom gets me the card, and then I go to the Nintendo Switch. Yes, Nintendo Switch Master Race, that's the console that I got it on. And I download the game, and then I proceeded to not play it for pretty much the rest of the night. I don't know what I was thinking there. There was something about that game that just didn't have me fully invested. However, one stage, I booted up the game. I even adored the menu theme of it. T. Lopez, the composer that they got to do this game, they could bring him back. Sonic Mania now has officially my favorite soundtrack in the entire Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. I have, at time of recording, I have beaten my first playthrough of the game. I've gotten most of the silver medals from the Blue Sphere games, although I sadly did not collect all the 7 Chaos Emeralds. Boo-hoo. But that's more than enough to get a 5 for the music, and I can just say that the music, the chord progressions are so hip in this game. This is my inner musician speaking. This dude is a freaking genius, okay? So, get him back. Basically, T. Lopez, Jun Sonoy, you have, two best ever right there. You've got the GOATs. I'm really not joking. That guy could really be something one day. So, I bought it and I was like, oh, Green Hill Zone again. Yay. Every Sonic game ever starts out in Green Hill Zone. But something happened. The controls were so tight, and the visuals, the 60 frames a second, the amazing attention to detail. Because, I'm typically not a retro gamer. I'm more blown away by modern marvels, such as, Assassin's Creed and things like that. Yeah, I know, I probably have shit taste by many people's standards, but, that's true, I've just never been blown away by sprites or anything like that. But this is one of the first times I can say, ever since Mega Man X5 or the original Rayman, that I was like, holy crap, this game looks freaking great. Sonic Mania literally looks like a Sonic game that's running on the PS1. And the PS1 is, in my humble opinion, a 2D beast. It is a beast. You go back, you look at Mega Man 8 footage, that game is gorgeous. 3D, on the other hand, that didn't age so well. But the fact remains that the 2D that the PS1 could do is the best I've ever seen. So it's smooth, it's gorgeous, the colors are vibrant, the controls were just fantastic. And the bosses are really quite something else. I enjoy every single boss fight that this game has to offer. That's different for a Sonic game. Although most of the bosses, some of the bosses, do just come down to, I'm just gonna tank damage by losing rings, and then, while I have invincibility, I'm just gonna pound the snot out of you. That's essentially what some of the bosses come down to, but that's just the Sonic norm. If you know what you're doing, that's what you're gonna do, and I know what I'm doing, so naturally that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, these are my thoughts thus far. This is not my overall opinions, these are not my factual opinions, these are just my thoughts. I will get into my overall, what exactly do I think of the game. I might do, a run-through, who knows, this is stream of consciousness. The level design is something that I'm amazed by. I'm in awe of this level design, because people typically gave credit for classic Sonic games, like, you know, upper path, you get more stuff, you beat the stage faster, lower path, you know, it's like a longer stage, blah de blah. However, I never really saw that in classic Sonic games. Like, classic Sonic games, I'm literally just going to the end. I never really felt like there was much secrets to discover, or as many as people said there were. I just never thought much of the classic games. That's just my opinion, of course. However, Sonic Mania feels like the games that people, like, Sonic Mania feels like the classic game people put classic games, like, comparison. It's hard to describe. I cannot come up with the right words to describe it. But it feels like the classic game that fans think we had this whole time. That's the best words I can use to describe my train of thought with this. And the references. This game actually almost pushed me to the brink of tears with the references, because I go so far back with the Sonic series. I go so far back with the Sonic series to the point where I was a 3-year-old child. That long ago. I go back to the release of Sonic Adventure 2 Battle on the Nintendo GameCube, okay? So even though I'm not one of those people in their 30s that grew up with the classic games, I still consider myself pretty damn old school when it comes to this series. And as a guy that has literally played every single game of the franchise, like in the Chemical Plant Zone, for instance, when you have to play a game of Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine as a boss fight, I was just like, holy shit, that's so awesome! And like, there's so many other references and cool things, like Stardust Speedway, how at the end of the Act 1, you run past the sign that goes future, and then you hit the speed boost, and then Sonic even has like the super peel out animation. And then, you know, Sonic and Tails, they like do like the like they're traveling through time, just like in CD. There's so many amazing references in this game. I think this game is more dependent on your nostalgia than freaking Sonic Generations, which is literally a game that's based upon trying to make you feel nostalgic because it was an anniversary game. And I just want to completely say, Christian Whitehead, you are a godsend to the Sonic community. There is no question about it. Because Sega obviously forgot how to develop, and they forgot how to do everything about classic Sonic games, and yet Christian Whitehead comes in, boom! We get Sonic Mania, where literally it's even more polished than the old classic games were. The momentum is better. There's more level variety. It's what people think the classic games were, but now we actually have one that's legitimately like that. The only thing that I would have adored this game to have, and the only thing it lacks, is I would have crapped my pants if we saw the return of the Super Chaos Emeralds and Sonic had turned hyper. That's literally the only thing that could make this game any better than what it already is if we had Hyper Sonic. But I think there's reasons as to why we can't have it, like some kid had a seizure or some shit. My goal is basically, don't make him flash 100 million colors a second. You could just have him be white, and I'd be happy with that. But the multiple playable characters, they actually do add a lot of variety to the level design. This is where I'm going to credit the level design again. Is because, first playthrough I played with Sonic and Tails together, and I was taking certain paths that were made for Sonic and Tails. Then I'm playing as Tails, and because Tails can fly, I'm able to take completely different paths than Sonic could. And then inevitably when I play the game as Knuckles, because he's going to be able to climb and glide, I'm going to be able to take paths that even Tails couldn't take. It's just really, really awesome, well thought out level design, and I can just get behind it. There's nothing poorly designed, because that's typically my biggest issue with 2D platformers. My parents know damn well when, like, anytime I die, I was like, no, you poor design. That's a bad design choice. It's almost a meme at this point, because of how much I say it. So, like, just ask my parents; they'll know what I'm talking about. But literally every single thing that I've played in this game is well thought out perfection. There is nothing bad about this game. Nothing. Technically, there's nothing wrong with it. I have found no glitches whatsoever. The callbacks are amazing. The bosses are amazing. Everything about the game just works. Which is so rare for a Sonic game, because even my all-time favorite Sonic game, and my third favorite game of all time, Sonic Adventure 2, that game could be quite buggy at times. Like, there's a lot of issues with it. There's a lot of technical faults. There's always something kind of wrong. Sonic the Hedgehog as a series, I want to make a comparison here that maybe some people will get, maybe some people won't. Sonic the Hedgehog is like an Italian car, like an Alfa Romeo or Ferrari. They look beautiful, and when they work, they're the best. However, they're not the most reliable cars in the universe. They're definitely ones that you buy on your passion. And like I said, Sonic games are mainly made for Sonic fans, but I can say that this, even if you weren't a Sonic fan beforehand, this is a game that I will recommend, even if you just like games. If you like good gaming, you'll like Sonic Mania. That's it. You don't have to be a Sonic fan to like Sonic Mania. Even though you will get more out of the game due to all the references and callbacks to previous entries of the series. Word salad there. You'll just get more out of it if you played the other games, is basically what I was trying to say there before I pretty much took a mini stroke. You can easily pick this game up and play it as a new fan, which is amazing. It's accessible for newcomers, and it's amazing for returning veterans like myself. That's exactly... I think about it the same way that I think of World of Final Fantasy, because I think World of Final Fantasy is an amazing start for new players of the Final Fantasy series, because you'll get to know plenty of the characters, you'll get to know the lore, you'll know your shit by the end of playing World of Final Fantasy. However, people who have played the series will get the most out of it, because the game is simplistic enough, newcomers can play it and have a great time, and it also has an amazing original story. Now, Sonic Mania is not reliant on its story in the slightest. Let's just get that out of the way. There is pretty much no story at all to be had in this game other than Eggman is surrounding himself with a couple of Guardian robots, and he seems to be effing around with time for whatever reason. Also, Sonic 4 is no longer in the canon of the series. This is like the new Sonic 4. So whatever story is here, I reckon it comes with the game manual that came with the collector's edition. I did not get the collector's edition, I cry! I imagine the story is inside there, but basically I might have to lock up a YouTube video or something to kind of get the gist, maybe head on Sonic Retro or something like that to understand what the plot is, because it's so... The game just doesn't do a good job of explaining it all, so maybe that's one complaint that I could have, is that maybe it could have had a bit more story. But it has no more story than Sonic 3 and Knuckles did, and that game's revered as the best of the series. And Sonic Mania is the first Sonic game in 15 years to have a Metacritic score above 90. It's currently on the PS4, it has a Metacritic score of 86, and on the Switch it has a Metacritic score of 91. Which I hear that the PS4 version is technically better than the Switch version. I don't really know. All I know is I'm freaking thrilled that I have it on the Switch, and that's when it's an amazing quality game. And on the Switch, you get to play it on the Glow. So I just realized that you couldn't see me stick out my tongue, but I'm sure that you could have guessed from the sound. Portability is awesome, folks. But I can just easily say that this game was well worth a year's wait. I was right to be excited for it. However, upon further examination, I wish I was more excited for it. However, maybe if I was more excited for it, and maybe if I went in with the mentality of thinking that this was going to be the best Sonic game that we've had in years, maybe it wouldn't have surprised me so much, and maybe I wouldn't have liked it as much as I do now. So, part of the reason why I like it so much is that it just effing shocked me. I have never been so completely proven wrong by a game in all my life. I was just expecting a mediocre filler game. I can guarantee you that this game will be 110 times better than Sonic Forces. Sonic Forces, I think, like the Metacritic score, 68. Because modern Sonic games do not have a good reputation at all. Like, we're talking highest rated games for Sonic Generations, and I think that has a Metacritic score of 73. I think, don't hold me to it. That's just based upon my memory of years past when I used to care about things like that. And upon further examination, I just cannot see Forces being technically as good as Mania. Because Forces will have more of a story, maybe the visuals will be more modern-esque. However, there's just many things that don't gel with me. Like, why the flying shit are we bringing back Classic Sonic again? When we got Mania, and Classic Sonic ain't gonna be as good as the Sonic that we have in Mania, and dear God, and Great Hill is returning for the 150 millionth time. I rest my case with that. And then, like, basically, modern Sonic stages and Forces are gonna be lit, they're gonna be fun, they're gonna be entertaining, they're just gonna be amazing. classic Sonic's gonna be a drag because I'm just gonna be thinking about how much better Mania is over it. And the creative character stages are basically you going around and shooting things. Yay. Yay. But I could be proven wrong by forces like I was with Sonic Mania, because if this is any indication of the quality of Sonic games that we are going to be getting in the future, I'd say that, guys, the blue blur is back and better than ever, and I just couldn't be any more happy about that. This is the best 2D platformer I have ever played, and it is guaranteed. I'm going to guarantee it. I'm locking it in. Sonic Mania is my game of the year 2017. It won't be beat. This won't be topped. It cannot be topped by anything else. Maybe Assassin's Creed Origins could come close. Maybe, because that game looks freaking incredible. But this is the unpopular opinion. I also played Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and Breath of the Wild doesn't have shit on Sonic Mania, because Breath of the Wild was a little bit of a pain in the ass in a lot of ways. And somehow I think Sonic Mania still has more story than Breath of the Wild. Rip. But, anyway, with that being said, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. This is the DodoWrestlingFan, signing out!